Hi, welcome back to the My Cupcake Addiction Kitchen. I'm Elise, and on today's episode, we're going to be making stunning rainbow ice cream sandwiches. You guys know I love a rainbow, and today is no exception. Today's video is part of a collaboration with a few other fabulous channels, and we have all teamed up to bring you guys some really cool and really unique ice cream sandwich ideas. I will leave a link to the ice cream sandwich playlist in the description box below. Today you're going to need 2 trays, one lined with baking paper, one to bake in and one to set your ice cream. A knife, a rolling pin, a circle cutter. I've got a batch of our vanilla sugar cookie dough and I will leave a link to that recipe in the description box below. You'll need some plain flour just for rolling out, some good quality vanilla ice cream, a spatula, and of course I've also got my colours. I love the AmeriColor colour range, but of course you can use any colour you like. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is you want to spoon all of that vanilla ice cream out into one of your trays. A shallow tray works best for this. You'll notice this one here I've actually lined with baking paper or wax paper. I don't recommend you do that. It made it very problematic to get the ice cream out the first time I tried this. Once it's all in there, smooth it all down with a spatula and get it as flat as possible, and then pop it off into the freezer for 6 to 12 hours so it sets really nice and firm. While that's setting, you want to take your cookie dough, and this has just been made, so this hasn't been chilled yet. You'll notice I'm rolling it out so it's kind of skinnier at one end and fatter at the other. You want that tapered point, so you kind of want it to graduate from a small end all the way up to a thicker end, kind of like an elephant's trunk. Cut even pieces off, and because we've graded the thickness of it, you're going to end up with 6 different thicknesses, so 6 different amounts of your coloured dough. Take a little bit of that colour, and I recommend colour paste here rather than liquid colour, and you just want to massage it in through that cookie dough, much the same way as with colour fondant. You want really nice vibrant colours here, so don't be too shy with your colours. I'm going to start off with purple, and then I'm moving through the rest of the colours of the rainbow, and you'll notice how much more I've got of my red than I've got of my purple. Now I just like to set it in the refrigerator, and I like to put it in kind of like a flat rectangle because we're going to be rolling it out into like a long rectangle piece. This just helps to start the roll and makes it a bit less work when we pull it out of the fridge. Pop all of your colours off into the fridge except for your purple. The purple we're going to roll out, and you want to roll it out into kind of like a cylinder. So you want to make sure the cylinder is going to fit on your tray, whichever tray you're setting your cookie dough on today. I just chopped off either end, so I've got nice neat ends, and it's a nice even cylinder. Place it onto your baking tray, and do spend a bit of time, particularly with this centerpiece, getting it as neat and straight as you can on that tray before popping that piece into the freezer. That needs to be fully frozen, so it's only going to take about 20 minutes or so. All of your other pieces off into the fridge. When your purple's frozen, sprinkle down some flour and roll out your blue, which will be a lot firmer to work with now that it's been refrigerated. You just want to roll that out to about 3 or 4 millimeters thick, so not too thin. If you find it's still sticking to the beach, just run your knife under it. Now you want to take that purple, and you'll see how beautiful and firm it is, really easy to work with. Trim down your sides so that you know you're going to have enough of that dough to completely cover the purple, and then I'm just using my fingers kind of to lift one side up and wrap that blue around the purple. This is going to give us a layer of purple on the inside, and then the next color is going to be blue. Once your purple's completely covered, roll the blue slowly and gently on the bench, not too fast with your rolling here or you're going to get air pockets. When it looks like this, pop it back on the tray and back into the freezer for about another 15 to 20 minutes. You're going to repeat this process with all of your layers. So my next color was green. Once again, rolling it out, folding it over, rolling it gently on the bench and popping it in the freezer. Then comes yellow, exactly the same process. This will be followed by orange. Now this cookie dough is relatively time consuming to make, but you can make it well in advance. It freezes up absolutely beautifully, and I recommend storing it in the freezer. You can leave your roll in there, and whenever you feel like a rainbow ice cream sandwich, pull it out, chop off a couple of slices, bake them up, add your ice cream, and you're ready to go. With your final colour, which for me is red, this is going to be the one you need the most dough of. So if, like me, you come up a little bit short on the sides, don't worry, just trim off your ends and use them to sort of patch it up. It doesn't matter if this is not 100% perfectly neat. You can just patch it up and then roll it out to smooth it out. Put that back in the freezer for about 2 hours to completely set. Once it comes out of the freezer, it's going to be really, really nice and solid, and we're just going to chop away kind of those little jagged or messy edges. You can see there as I chop them away, you want to just cut 1 or 2 slices off until you get to the really nice, neat line. That is not coming out of shape at all, and that's the reason that we freeze it, so it keeps its really nice round shape. Now, using your knife, you just want to cut down, and I find a sharp knife and one solid cut the best and the neatest for cutting my cookie dough, and I'm cutting those once again to about 3 millimeters thick. You can choose how thin or how thick you want to cut them, but do bear in mind you're going to have 2 cookies and 1 inch of ice cream for each of your sandwiches, and you want people to be able to get through those cookies. Place them onto a baking tray and into a moderate oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, and you'll know they're cooked when they just ever so slightly start to brown around the edges. Allow your cookies to completely cool. They can't even be a little bit warm, and then go and grab your ice cream, which by now should be really firmly set. Take your circular cookie cutter, and I just found one that fitted perfectly within the confines of my cookie size. So choose the one that's going to best fit the size of cookies that you've cut, and then you want to press it firmly into that ice cream. Give it a twist and your core of ice cream should pop out in the middle of your cookie cutter, and pull it out. Use your finger just to push that ice cream neatly into the center of one of your rainbow cookies. Apply the other rainbow cookie to the other side and press the two together. With these ones, you either want to add that ice cream just before you're about to serve them. Otherwise, you can store the whole completed ice cream rainbow cookie in the freezer in an airtight container for a couple of days. I hope you guys have enjoyed yet another amazing rainbow creation from the My Cupcake Addiction Kitchen. Do make sure that you have a click on that playlist link in the description box below and check out the other fantastic ice cream sandwiches. It doesn't matter if it's hot where you live or cold, there is never a wrong time for ice cream. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I suggest you do for lots more in the way of cakes, cupcakes, and of course rainbows. And as always, thanks very much for tuning in to My Cupcake Addiction.